Brother, calmness is not weakness. It's not passivity. It's not low energy. Calmness is mastery. Calmness is power. Calmness is the rarest masculine quality in a world addicted to chaos. Look around you. Most men are frantic. They're loud, restless, desperate to be seen. They raise their voices to prove a point. They text endlessly to prove they care. They chase harder when they feel her slipping away. They mistake constant movement for strength. But real strength isn't frantic. It isn't noisy. Real strength is stillness. It's the man who doesn't move unless he chooses to. It's the man who doesn't flinch when the world shakes. The man who doesn't bend his frame for attention. That man commands a room without saying a word. Why calmness is the ultimate masculine edge. When you walk in and your energy doesn't demand attention but commands it, people notice. That doesn't come from faking cool. It comes from a nervous system so trained, so grounded, that nothing external rattles it. Women feel this more than anyone. They don't consciously analyze it. They sense it. They feel it in their body. A calm man makes her heart slow down. Her muscles relax. She feels safe in a way she can't explain. And when a woman feels safe in her body, attraction blossoms. That's why women are drawn to calm men. Not the loudest, not the flashiest, not the one blasting her phone with constant messages, but the man whose presence weighs more than his words. Because here's the truth, feminine energy is chaos. Not in a negative sense, but in a raw, beautiful, expressive way. Feminine energy flows like fire and water, unpredictable, passionate, ever-changing. And what do fire and water seek? Structure, containment, rock, shore, solidness. That's where calm masculinity comes in. You're not there to match her chaos. You're not there to control it. You're there to absorb it without losing yourself. To hold steady while storms pass. That's why she melts. That's why she leans in. That's why she craves you. The three types of men. Most men fall into one of two traps. The reactive man. He feels everything and reacts to everything. A mood swing, he argues. A test, he panics. A challenge, he explodes. His emotions own him. 2. The numb man, he feels nothing. He hides behind walls, pretending not to care. He avoids conflict by shutting down. He isn't moved, but he also isn't alive. Then there's the third type, the calm man. He feels deeply, but he doesn't get pulled. He notices everything, but he doesn't react to everything. He chooses when to act. That choice is what gives him presence. That choice is what makes him magnetic. The female response to calm energy. Women test men, not because they're cruel, but because they want to feel if you're solid. When she pushes, will you collapse? When she pulls away, will you panic? When she teases, will you explain yourself to death? When she storms, will you match her chaos with chaos? Most men do, but calm men don't. A calm man watches, breathes, waits, then speaks when necessary. That's why women lean on calm men, cry around calm men, because their body tells them, here, I am safe. Here, I can rest. The path to calm masculinity. You don't stumble into calmness. You forge it. You train it. You build it. Here's how. 1. The pause. Every time you feel triggered, you pause. Before the reply. Before the argument. Before the reaction. That pause builds more masculine energy than 1,000 words. 2. Stop explaining. Calm men don't need to be understood. They don't talk just to fill silence. They let their presence speak. If she misunderstands you, so be it. Your self-certainty is the explanation. 3. Purpose beyond her. A woman can feel if she's your mission or just part of it. When she sees you're building something bigger, business, craft, health, spirit, she relaxes. She stops being the center of your world and starts wanting to orbit yours. 4. calm under fire. When she tests, threatens, or storms, you don't chase, you don't yell, you don't break. You calmly state your truth, and if she leaves, you let her. That's emotional self-respect. That's the edge. The magnetic mystery of calmness. A woman falls hardest when she can't fully figure you out. Not because you're playing games, but because calmness creates mystery. You don't react like the others. You don't panic like the others. You don't argue like the others. You remain unmoved, and that drives her crazy, not with confusion, but with desire. Calm men are rare. Calm men are unforgettable, because calmness is both safety and tension. It makes her body relax while her mind races with questions. Why doesn't he break? Why doesn't he chase? Why does he feel so certain when I'm uncertain? That curiosity pulls her in deeper. That tension fuels attraction. Calmness in action. When you say no, you don't yell. You don't threaten. You simply decide. When you set a boundary, you don't argue. You hold it. When you compliment her, it lands heavier because you don't waste words. When you touch her, it's slower, anchored, deliberate. That restraint, that patience, that power, that's what she isn't used to. That's what makes you stand out from the noise of men chasing validation. Brother, remember this. You don't become the most powerful man in the room by being the loudest. You become him by being the calmest. By being the man who doesn't flinch when others break. By being the anchor when storms hit. By protecting your peace as if it were your purpose. Because when you become that man, women don't just respect you. They don't just admire you. They crave you. They chase you. They surrender to you. Not because you're rich. Not because you're handsome. But because your calmness is the rarest currency in a chaotic world.